Today, we will immerse ourselves in the world of Stoic philosophy with 8 core principles guiding you on how to break free from the cycle of mundane thoughts. We will not only discuss the accumulation of wealth, but also building a rich, peaceful, and positively energetic soul. These principles are not just advice, they are the keys to unlocking a new world. Follow this video to the end, because after watching it, the way you perceive your personal finances and your life will change significantly. So why should you listen? Because life is not just about existence, but about experiencing and savoring every moment. Principle 1. Stop associating wealth with happiness. The famous Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." This statement emphasizes an important point about financial status, wealth, and the psychology of individuals' happiness. Stoic philosophy has shown us that we should not associate wealth with happiness, as this is a profound perspective on life, instead of focusing on accumulating material wealth. Stoic philosophy encourages us to seek happiness by developing virtue and personal ethics, according to Stoic philosophy. True happiness does not lie in the accumulation of material possessions, but in nurturing virtue. Virtue in Stoic philosophy is not just a noun, but a knowledge, a mindset, and an approach to life. It includes self-control, the ability to control emotions and behavior, courage in facing difficulties, fairness in evaluating situations, and the ability to use theory to shape our worldview. We are reminded that wealth is an external, unstable, and changeable aspect of life. This is not a necessary condition for experiencing true happiness. Instead, they believe that virtue, living a meaningful and valuable life, is the exact element we need to experience happiness. Consider this. We have heard many stories of millionaires living in unhappiness and ordinary people leading happy lives. The amount of money in your bank account is not a reliable indicator of happiness. Instead, what matters is the depth of your character and the quality of your actions. Material possessions are often not sustainable. The joy they bring is temporary. Imagine you just bought a new mobile phone and the excitement and happiness are overwhelming in your mind. However, after a few months of use, that phone becomes older and the initial enthusiasm fades away. Life seems to always shift and change, and material possessions often cannot adapt to these changes. A new product may bring temporary joy, but then it becomes a part of daily life and is not enough to sustain happiness. This makes reevaluating the relationship between wealth and happiness more necessary than ever. Stoic philosophy not only helps us understand that we should not associate material wealth with happiness, but also creates a sense of gratitude for what we already have. When we learn to appreciate and cherish the positive aspects of life, we begin to realize that we are richer than we thought. It's important to recognize the actual worth of what we have in addition to simply being grateful for it. Moreover, you can develop the ability to invest in relationships, experiences, and information to enhance the richness of the spirit. Along your journey through life, you will carry with you enduring riches such as the information you gain, the experiences you gather, and the love you share. True prosperity, a deep sense of fulfillment, and purpose in life are all of these things taken together. On our journey, we ought to honor and investigate that treasure. In conclusion, the relationship between riches and happiness is seen entirely differently in Stoic philosophy. Developing virtue and leading an upright life are the paths to true happiness instead of accumulating a large number of material belongings. This makes Stoic philosophy an invaluable motivation for our quest for happiness and real meaning in life. Principle 2. Stop blaming others. People are bothered not by objects, but by the perspective they hold about them. We carefully consider Epictetus's advice to not place blame on others and to navigate our own path toward a better future that we choose for ourselves. Stoic philosophy offers a potent message about life's journey. If we want to see improvements in our general quality of life and financial circumstances, we need to take a stand in front of the mirror and examine ourselves. This is an alliance message of personal accountability and self-care. Imagine taking a voyage to a far-off island where you are the only captain steering the ship of your life. The only thing we can control is ourselves, but there are possibilities, difficulties, and barriers. It is suggested that we accept full responsibility for our life. So why accept accountability? Since it is the route to advancement and freedom. The wind and waves are beyond our control during a storm, but we do have influence over how we navigate our vessel. We have no control over the circumstances when faced with hardship, but we do have influence over how we respond to it. Individual accountability is a chance rather than a duty. It is the ability to design our life as we see fit. Assume command of the ship and sail forward. Refrain from allowing anyone or anything to take control of your life. Take control of your life and direct it in the direction you want. When faced with challenges, one of the most frequent mistakes people make is blaming other people or outside factors. This is viewed by Stoic philosophy as an indication of weakness and a loss of control. We choose to avoid taking responsibility by placing the blame elsewhere, on other people or on circumstances, instead of accepting responsibility and working to find a solution. Consider a scenario in which you compete in a sporting event and the outcome is not what you had hoped for. At first, you could be disappointed and search for outside causes, such inclement weather or an injury. Stoic philosophy, on the other hand, exhorts you to examine yourself. Even with the challenges, you can come to the realization that greater planning, more focused practice, or skill development could have produced better outcomes. In the end, the Stoic idea of the duality of control, which comprises things we can manage and things we cannot, is strongly tied to this principle. It's possible that we have no control over outside variables like the climate, other people's actions, or societal systems, but we are in charge of how we respond to and handle these things. We ought to concentrate on managing our thoughts, decisions, and behaviors rather than blaming the things we are unable to control. This enables us to exhibit self-determination and resist having outside forces control our life. According to Stoic philosophy, taking responsibility for oneself and embracing control over one's life allows one to live a meaningful and free life without placing blame on others. We take on constructive roles in our own lives and overcome every obstacle with courage. Principle 3. Stop living to please others. Let our thoughts turn to principle number 3 through a famous quote by Marcus Aurelius. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. This quote emphasizes Marcus Aurelius' view of focusing on self-awareness and personal virtue rather than seeking external approval. According to Stoic philosophy, our lives depend on ourselves, and true happiness comes from self-awareness and self-control. We should not live to meet the expectations of others or seek their approval, because doing so makes us dependent on the opinions and judgments of others, putting us in a constant struggle against all the uncontrollable changes and fluctuations in life. We exist in a digital world where societal pressures constantly demand that we conform to and meet their expectations. Under this pressure, many people seem to be swept away and forced to live a life that doesn't express their true selves. All of this stems from the relentless effort to gain approval and acceptance from others. This mindset not only affects how we manage our finances and personal finances, but also drives us to chase after the lives of others. We often try to keep up with their lifestyle, possessions, and social status, often at the expense of our own financial well-being. Imagine a young person full of enthusiasm for the arts and passionate about writing books. However, due to societal pressures and family expectations, he gave up his dreams to pursue an undesired financial career, instead of pursuing his own passion. He chose the path set by others, and this made him feel like he had lost an important part of himself. Passivity often leads many people into debt or living beyond their means, in an attempt to emulate the extravagance of others. The Stoic principle of independence advises us to stand firm against this temptation and focus on our own journey toward financial independence, like a nature always focusing on the bullseye to shoot accurately, but how to start living by this principle sincerely. First, understand yourself. Take the time to discover your values, goals, and personal dreams. You need to identify what truly matters to you and create a clear vision of your life's goals. Second, build plans based on personal values. Develop financial and life plans based on your values and goals, rather than comparing yourself to others or meeting their expectations. Third, self-management and control. Stoicism encourages controlling your emotions and behaviors while accepting that there are things we cannot control. Focus on what can be controlled and embrace the changes that cannot be controlled. Additionally, always remember patience. Never forget that your journey is unique and the path to success is your own. Applying this principle is not always quick. It requires patience, perseverance, and self-exploration. When you stop living to please others, you not only gain control of your finances, but also of your life. Don't let societal pressure dictate your financial decisions. Pursue financial independence based on your values. With patience and perseverance, remember that this journey is yours, and you are not just a participant, but also your own unique competitor. By applying these principles, you will embark on a new journey of financial freedom and satisfaction, a profound transformation that brings significant changes to your life. Principle 4. Stop avoiding risks. We frequently experience anxiety and uneasiness when we hear the term risk. These innate feelings frequently prevent us from living up to our greatest potential. We prefer to shy away from problems and avoid dangers. But in order to evolve as individuals and achieve spiritual freedom, we must understand that. The Stoic school of thought emphasizes the virtues of self-control, courage, and patience in daily living. This involves taking calculated and determined chances. If you are unsure of your own bravery, read the biographies of two well-known people that encourage anybody with the audacity to follow their aspirations. Facebook's creator and billionaire in technology, Mark Zuckerberg, once said, "Avoiding risks is the only way to guarantee failure in a world that is changing quickly." He made the bold decision to leave college early in order to work on the Facebook project, which has helped him become one of the most successful software entrepreneurs in the world. Or Elon Musk chose to focus on SpaceX and Tesla rather than following the safe route in the information technology industry after making millions of dollars from PayPal. Despite the fact that both businesses were close to going bankrupt, they finally prospered, demonstrating Musk's bravery. Great success resulted from this. Give this some thought for a bit. What distinguishes prosperous people from the general public? They have the guts to take chances. They bravely leave their comfort zones, welcome unpredictability, and take on obstacles head-on. They realize that it is by taking these chances that they will develop, get knowledge, and get closer to success. What does this signify to you then? It's all about shifting how you view risk. Being brave does not imply total freedom from fear and anxiety. Rather, It's the capacity to take calculated chances without ever allowing fear to control your actions. You have to realize that nothing in life is permanent and that you cannot have complete control over it. Steering clear of dangers is a loss of time and opportunity for personal growth. It's the same with our financial circumstances when you take a chance and invest in a new venture. Deciding to invest or conserve money rather than squander it on impulsive purchases or looking into alternative job paths. Even though nothing goes exactly as planned, things could work out better than you anticipate. A key component of Stoic philosophy is learning from mistakes and difficulties. We learn and advance by overcoming obstacles. Every setback serves as a teaching moment, and every obstacle is a chance to grow. Overcoming these obstacles requires self-control and patience. Please note, though, that we do not advocate for careless behavior when we discuss taking chances. The Stoic school of thought encourages prudent and measured risk-taking. This calls for in-depth information, discernment, and a thorough comprehension of your own circumstance. This idea is consistent with our earlier teachings about self-awareness and lifelong learning. So always keep in mind that taking a chance might lead to growth and opportunity. Stoics hold that if we constantly remain in our comfort zones, we will never grow up and succeed. Taking calculated risks is a necessary component of living a fulfilling life. It will need courage, endurance, and self-control to face every obstacle head-on and grow from the experience. You'll get closer to both spiritual liberation and fulfilling achievement in life by doing this. Principle 5. Stop ignoring your finances. Finances are an important aspect of life that we often overlook, but Stoic philosophy has given us a different perspective on this matter. We often hear that ignorance brings happiness, but when it comes to your finances, ignorance can lead to serious risks. Stoicism is a philosophy of life with a message about self-control, building a strong mindset, and deep awareness of life. This means that you need to understand your financial situation. When we start discussing applying Stoic philosophy to our financial lives, we open a door to a new world where the importance of awareness and attitude towards finances becomes clearer than ever. First and foremost, Stoic philosophy teaches us to have true awareness of our financial situation. Don't try to avoid or hide the truth about money, but open your heart to face it honestly. This not only involves counting the money in your bank account, but also understanding the source of income, managing expenses, and mastering the situation of debts. In a world where money is often put on a pedestal and counted, Stoic philosophy offers a different perspective in encouraging you to learn about ourselves and our financial situation in the most genuine way. Imagine that looking at the money in your account is not just about counting it, but also about asking yourself questions about the origin of that money, such as, what have I spent it on? Can I manage expenses more wisely? Gain clear insight into your situation and exercise self-control to make wise decisions in managing personal finances. Furthermore, Stoic philosophy not only teaches us about self-control, but also about building connections with others through understanding and empathy. You will find yourself more sensitive to the emotions and needs of others, especially in difficult times. You can share experience pieces and learn from those going through similar situations. This not only creates a supportive environment, but also makes people feel that they are not alone in their financial struggle. Personal responsibility is also an important aspect. We must take responsibility for our lives and not blame external factors. This means that you are the manager of your financial life and you have the right and responsibility to shape it positively. Finally, we are encouraged to live in full reality. Don't let yourself be fascinated by illusions or misconceptions about money. Instead, carefully evaluate the reality of our income, expenses, debts, savings, and investments. Remember, that you are the manager of your personal finances. Pay attention and take responsibility for your money and use it as a tool to build the life of your dreams. Stop neglecting your finances and start treating them with the care and respect they deserve. Principle 6. Stop neglecting personal development. Self-improvement and self-development are important concepts in Stoic philosophy. Well-known Stoic thinkers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius hold that cultivating the soul and growing the spirit are the roots to ultimate happiness. Consequently, sustaining a life that has meaning and purpose is intimately related to human development. However, what exactly does personal development involve? Stoic philosophy holds that growth on a personal level is not random. It is seen as a very significant obligation. It is advised that we devote time and energy to soul cultivation and the development of virtues. The purpose of life is to improve and deepen one's spirituality every day, rather than just to meet one's material requirements. Let's think of personal growth as an amazing adventure. It is more important to commit to continual learning and constant improvement than it is to pursue perfectionism. We ought not to put ourselves under the burden of perfection. Rather, we want to improve and become more moral. Every day is a brand new chance for us to cultivate moral qualities and better our spirits. Think of self-control as an additional facet of personal development. This entails using one's response capacity for personal development and exercising self-control to avoid getting caught up in flaws and unmanageable circumstances. We are able to overcome obstacles in life and expedite the process of personal development. Let's now examine a typical error that a lot of individuals make: the zone of comfort. We do not progress and encounter obstacles when we are in our comfort zone. It may be secure and tranquil, but it is also a place of aging and lack. However, the growth zone is where we face challenges and go on a lifetime learning journey. It is the place where our soul and spirit are developed and fortified. We run the risk of becoming outdated if we stop learning because the world is always evolving. Similar to how a shark needs to move in order to survive. We also need to always be learning new skills to stay competitive. With time and money constraints, you might wonder if these activities are really feasible. Recall that in the Stoic philosophy, self-control is about choosing the correct decisions, not always the simplest ones. This could entail putting one's own growth ahead of extracurricular activities or frivolous spending. It's more crucial to make deliberate judgments that support your long-term objectives rather than making significant sacrifices. According to Stoic philosophy, having a meaningful and happy life requires not ignoring personal progress. It involves more than just enhancing one's knowledge and abilities. It also entails soul care and the growth of moral qualities. Personal development is a lifelong process of spiritual growth and maturation rather than a final destination. Principle 7. Stop spending beyond your means. Stop spending beyond your means. This may sound like a simple piece of advice, but you'd be surprised how often it gets overlooked. In an era of consumerism and advertising explosion, we are often put in a position where we feel like we need more than what we actually need. Advertisements often promise that owning a new product or service will bring happiness and satisfaction. This creates unnecessary pressure to shop and spend more, even when we don't have the financial capability to do so. Stoic philosophy reminds us that true happiness doesn't depend on owning many possessions or uncontrolled shopping. Instead, it stems from controlling ourselves and seeking happiness from within. When we stop spending beyond our means, we truly begin to practice this control by not letting our needs and desires exceed what we already have. So how do we practice this principle in our daily lives? It starts with distinguishing between our needs and desires. Basic needs like food, shelter, and clothing are essential for life, while desires like the latest tech gadgets or luxury fashion are not necessary, really must-haves. When we understand this difference, we become better at managing our finances. Modern life often puts us in a situation of uncontrolled shopping, fueled by advertising and social influence. Stoic philosophy warns us about this futile consumer trap and advises us to stay away from it. Instead of shopping to feel happy, we should find happiness in connecting with loved ones, exploring personal interests, or experiencing the tranquility of simple living. Imagine that you have saved enough money to handle any unexpected expenses without feeling panicked. Imagine the freedom from the burden of debt and having enough financial resources to spend more time with family, explore new interests, or even start your own business. Imagine a comfortable retirement life without worrying about depleting savings. All of this is entirely possible when you live within your financial means. Finally, life is not just about owning many possessions, but also about having a prosperous and peaceful life. When we live within our financial means, we can create opportunities to pursue personal dreams, spend time with family and friends, and ensure financial security for the future. Stopping spending beyond your means is not just a wise financial decision, but also a way of life, in accordance with Stoic philosophy to achieve self-control and contentment in life. By applying Stoic philosophy and personal financial management, we can build a prosperous, sustainable, and peaceful life. Principle 8. Stop resisting change. Finally, in principle number 8, we recognize that change is inevitable in life, but we often resist it. However, Stoic philosophy teaches us to accept and embrace change, understand the temporary nature of life, and adjust accordingly. It is in this adaptability that we truly find a way to prosper. Consider this: seasons change, tides rise and fall, the sun rises and sets, all indicating the inherently changing nature of life. Just like a river never stays the same, life continually evolves. In our journey, we need to learn to progress along with life rather than against the current. In the context of our financial well-being, this principle suggests that the economy is always changing. New industries emerge while old ones become obsolete. Interest rates fluctuate, and the job market undergoes transformations. Despite the challenges, don't resist change. Learn to navigate it. Resisting change in financial life can manifest in various ways. It could be refusing to accept that our career field is declining and not acquiring new skills. It might be maintaining an old investment strategy even when it's not yielding good returns. Or it could be the fear of taking risks in new investment opportunities and thereby missing out on potential gains. The question here is, what do we need to do to resist change? Below are 4 pieces of advice from Stoic philosophy. First, we need to change our mindset. Understand that change can bring exciting opportunities and prosperity. Just as a caterpillar must undergo transformation to become a butterfly, change can open new doors. Second, educate yourself. Knowledge reduces fear and is the reason why we resist change. Stay updated on economic trends, investment opportunities, and the best financial practices to guide you through change. Third, a balanced perspective is crucial. Understand that change can bring both benefits and losses. Job loss can lead to a new career. Unsuccessful investments can teach us valuable lessons, and financial hardships can foster patience and wisdom. Lastly, be flexible. Being rigid in the face of change is like a tree standing firm in a storm, but bending and adapting can help us overcome it. Flexibility in financial planning, career choices, and investment strategies helps us deal with economic changes. Remember that the world is a constantly changing canvas, and you are the artist with the right mindset, knowledge, perspective, and flexibility. You can paint a picture of financial prosperity. Embracing change is not only about financial success, it's also about living an interesting, fulfilling life,